Posted.
Good morning. This is Beth Misner, and I'm here today with Brian Bentzen and Susan Schwartz and Anna Eaton, and we're going to tell you all about who they are and why they're on the call with me today. This is our Business Voices fall webinar, second in the series, and today we're featuring and shining the spotlight on the Boys and Girls Clubs. And so Brian is co-hosting the call with me. Hi, Brian.
Hello, Beth.
Great to be in the same time zone with you today. Makes it easier not to get the time messed up for me. We're in the same time zone. Brian is the social media coordinator for the BNI Foundation and also does Ivan's personal social media. And he's going to co-host the call today with me. Thank you so much for your time and enthusiasm, Brian.
No problem.
Much appreciated. And we have with us today Susan Schwartz, who is a BNI member and a BNI director consultant, and Brian's going to do a formal and official introduction of Susan. And we have Anna Eaton. Hi, Anna.
Good morning.
Hi, Susan.
Hi, how are you?
Great. Anna is the executive director for a Boys and Girls Club that's located in Vacaville, California. So the reason we wanted to bring you two on is because there's been a really great partnership between BNI and the Boys and Girls Club of Vacaville. And it's a very great illustration or a perfect representation of what our vision in the BNI Foundation is as we talk about creating business voices and having business voices be a means by which we can build a conduit between business and education so that people in the community who have resources that are really needed by the educational organizations in their community are able to have that flow of resources come through that conduit. And I see that happening at the Boys and Girls Club in Vacaville in a kind of a very organic way. As we could later on, that'll make more sense and be funnier. But for those of us on the call, it's a really funny way to look at it. But you really have had a partnership going between Boys and Girls Clubs and BNI before Business Voices was ever something that was being talked about. So that was the reason that I wanted to kind of highlight your program specifically. The further work of the Boys and Girls Club is something that Ivan and we just did a Facebook Live clip, and we talked about how important the work of the Boys and Girls Clubs is for us. We see what you're doing, and we see what the Boys and Girls Club is accomplishing as you're investing in the future of our nation, really, in the future of our economic communities and our own individual businesses. The Boys and Girls Clubs of East Austin shared with me last year, a year and a half ago, that 100% of the club kids graduate from high school there. And that's a really astounding statistic because the demographic that we're at in Austin hovers between 14, 15, 16, 17, and sometimes 18% dropout rate. It's getting better, but it's nowhere near 100% like the Boys and Girls Clubs are experiencing with their club kids. So as far as shining a spotlight on an educational organization that's having proven success and has such a great track record of Boys and Girls Clubs, that's the reason we're highlighting you today. Brian, did you want to add to that? Any remarks?
Well, yes. I like to make sure I would like to introduce Anna. Anna is, pull this up. Anna has had a passion for serving youth in the community where she lives, giving back to the community. Born in Vietnam and raised in the U.S., Anna has made Vacaville her home with her husband, Austin, and their 4 children. She earned a bachelor's degree in psychology and literature from the Liberty University. And as an Army wife, she's founded the Starbound Theater in 2003, a program focused on serving at-risk youth through the performing arts that has expanded to 4 cities here in California, in Vacaville, Fairfield, American Canyon, and Dixon. Currently, Anna is the executive director of the Vacaville Neighborhood Boys and Girls Club, where she has enjoyed challenges in the realm of nonprofits while working with youth ages 6 to 18. She has navigated the club through tumultuous hardships and enjoys being able to impact the environment for the children who attend. Community engagement, education, and empowerment is where she feels we begin to make a change for our children. She draws a parallel between supporters, mentors, and club kids through chaos theory. the idea that a very small difference in an initial state of physical system can make a significant change in state some later time. Transition in youth development terms, once we recognize the significance of our impact on at-risk youth, we can influence their outcome in the future generations. This is our back screen. This is Anna. So welcome, Anna.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you for introducing me so well. I just wanted to point out that, Susan is one of the reasons why I look forward to coming to work and one of the reasons why I enjoy what I do. And the club has thrived because of Susan's help. And, as she sat down and we thought through how BNI has impacted our Boys and Girls Club here, it's like, I'm amazed at how long the list is actually. So I'll let Susan talk about that in a little bit. But we're just thrilled to be a part of this webinar. And, the work of the Boys and Girls Club, when we talk about serving at-risk youth, that term is so broadened now because it really doesn't mean that we're serving children from disadvantaged or low-income backgrounds. There are so many things that our kids face today that make them at risk. And so our doors are open to everyone, regardless of economic status, where they live in the community. They don't even have to live in our city. And so all Boys and Girls Club operate that way. And I'm really proud to be a part of this kind of an organization. I'm super proud to be able to partner with the BNI group, to have met you, Beth, and you, Brian, and also to have been a benefactor of the BNI Foundation grant. And so I think we're going to talk about that today as well, correct?
Yes. Well, welcome. And Susan, she is an amazing person too. Let me pull up that photo. Susan is a natural gardener and plants her seeds and her roots well in anything she does. She is a BNI director in the Bay Area. And so Susan has truly taken her philosophy of giver's gain and has truly grown it organically, like she's doing in organic gardening, and has truly planted her seed and her need for helping children. It was because of the volunteerism of Susan that Business Voices actually had as a focus. I mean, we saw what she did years ago, asked for a grant, and has truly changed the lives of these children because teaching them how to garden and using the philosophy of giver's gain is truly something that has truly made Susan an asset to BNI. And so I would like to welcome Susan to the call.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm very, very proud of being my part in BNI. But again, it is that giver's gain philosophy, and it did bring me here to the club to be a mentor coordinator years ago. And through that, I would just ask my members. I would stand up and talk about the Vacaville Boys and Girls Clubs, and my members would say, "Well, I can support. I can teach your kids martial arts, or I can, come and help with different aspects of the club." And again, through BNI Foundation, the whole Garden Tower project was a referral from Dawn Lyons. I was telling her at a Referral Institute event that I was at. She said, "Stand up and talk about yourself, not your business. You have 3 minutes to talk about yourself." And I guess I just kind of went off on the Vacaville Boys and Girls Club and everything I do here with the garden. And it resonated with her. So like a week later, I got an email from her saying, "I want to introduce you to Erica Gimbo, who I see is on with us today. She has tower gardens, hydroponic gardening, that I think would be perfect for the club." And then again, through that, me meeting Erica, we got the towers, but through that, I heard Ivan Misner stand up at one of our meetings and events that he was at and say, "We have a BNI foundation that we love to help children." And my head just about exploded. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, we can get a foundation grant, and that will help us with the towers. That'll help, with Erica helping and get this all started and get our kids growing and having healthy habits." So it just all wrapped into one big, beautiful thing. And, Anna's been so supportive of everything I've done here as well. And I appreciate her for that.
Oh, well, of course.
That's where we're at.
Well, welcome. So, Anna, why don't you start by at least introducing us to the concept of what is the Boys and Girls Club while I show the screenshot of what's going on.
Sounds good. So at the Boys and Girls Club, it is an after-school program, and so the kids come to us from after school until about 6 o'clock, which is considered high time for crime. Within those hours that we have them, we are very intentional with the programs that we offer. So the core programs that we offer teach them character and leadership development, career and academic development, health and fitness, and the Healthy Habits program is a part of that, the recreation, and the arts. And so everything that we do with them touches on one of those core programs. So Susan, being the garden expert that she is, because if it were left up to me, our garden wouldn't exist. I really am not a green thumb at all. Yeah. But Susan, not only did she work with our conventional beds, but she brought in the idea of tower gardens. And so she did her research on it, showed me what we could do. I mean, she really painted the picture so well for me that we could not only grow the vegetation, the produce quicker than the conventional beds, but it teaches kids a little bit of science as well when they're having to test the pH balance of the water and add the nutrients and tonics in there. And not only that, but the kids get to watch it grow. They get to harvest it with Miss Susan. They decide on recipes that they want to cook. Sometimes they even get to take the produce home and then they try new things. So because of Susan, I can say that I really like eggplants. And because of Susan, I can say that the kids really enjoy kale chips, which is, you know, crazy for me. So we have kids who, right here in Vacaville, we're nestled in like the low-income community of our city. And so they don't always have the best nutrition. They kind of tend to really have what's readily available, what's fast food, or what's really cheap, which is all junk food. So to be able to implement a program like this and then innovate, have someone like Susan who comes in and just pours love on the children, and also, you know, the education piece is key. It's just been like the best, most innovative thing that happened to our club, because what she also thought about too was, okay, so we're teaching the kids, but let's help other people with it. And so with the kids, they've turned it also into a community service project, leadership project, where they've taken products and have cooked for our local homeless shelter. The teenagers have done that. And so we share what we grow. And also the cool thing that we've started this year is a virtual farmers market, just because we do have an abundance of crop, but it's never really enough, or the timing isn't quite right to always, you know, go and introduce ourselves to a real farmer's market. So in making a virtual farmer's market, Susan has made salsas with the kids, pesto, pickles, pickled peppers, jams of all kinds. And they jar them, applesauce, which I tasted the other day. Is super good, better than the store. Yeah, and healthy and fresh. Right. But anyhow, so she jars them and works with the kids on it. They price point it, and they sell it, and it becomes a fundraiser. And then that fundraiser funds their college tour. Yeah. Back into the club. So, and this lady does it out of the goodness of her heart. I cannot, you know, if I could duplicate Susan for every club, they would see what a blessing that she is. But the Giver Gains philosophy that Susan brings in is such an inspiration to other people. I mean, she is our perpetual volunteer of the year. And I know that because of her passion, because of her great ideas, because of how she brings in the BNI family into our club family, it just really inspires people to think outside the box and, you know, to do more to help their community. So I can't tell you how much I love this lady. Yeah, no, absolutely. She deserves all the accolades that we could ever give her. Thank you.
So,
right. It is my heart.
I have heard, and Susan, you've shared with me personally, that your BNI chapter has been doing quite a lot already before Business Voices, as I mentioned, was a thing. Right. Do you want to share a little bit about how you've been able to pull from the BNI membership to come over and to help you out at the Boys and Girls Club? Has there been any any challenge with doing that, or anything that's made it difficult, or do you think the members are really embracing the opportunity?
Anytime I've ever asked any of my BNI members to do anything, I mean, I don't get them all, of course, because then we'd be bombarded. But I have 2 members that have served on the board of directors for the Vacaville Boys and Girls Club, and that again is a voluntary position, and that's a big job for them. So I've had 2 members actually do that. They, like I said, I've had a member come in and teach our martial arts program, which was 2 years ago, I believe. He did that, and he came in every Friday, and the kids could not wait for him to come. And we got them little, what are they, geese?
Uniforms.
Yeah, geese that they were so proud. And I have lots of pictures of that. I'm sorry that I didn't put any of those in there, but they're from the past. And then the landscaper in my Fairfield chapter, he comes over and does the landscaping for the Boys and Girls Club. I have a member in the Concord area that is come, because before Anna came in, the books weren't always done as well as they should have been. And so he came in and he was tirelessly coming in. I mean, actually, he even had a portable desk set up at her office. And every time I walked in, I was like, Joel, you're here again. And working with her to get everything in place so that we could move forward. Anytime with the fundraisers, we do golf tournaments, and the chocolate ball is coming up, and the bowling events, and any kind of fundraisers that I talk to them about, they're already setting up their teams and ready to support. So it has just been a wonderful thing to have. Again, it's the BNI philosophy, givers gain, and that's what we want to do. We want to support the community and help in any way we can. And children are our future. Yeah. And anytime we can, get in here and support them and be a part of what they're doing. I mean, you can see their smiling faces. Look at them. Mm-hmm. They're so appreciative of everything, every little thing you do. And one thing I do want to say about these kids is that they are so willing to give back in their community. So I don't know whether we're kind of helping them instill that giver's gain philosophy back into their community. Because everything that we do here, they see that. Mm-hmm. And these kids don't have a lot themselves. They don't have a lot. And they say to me, what are we going to do? Are we going to feed the homeless? I can't wait. Can we feed the homeless? Can we do something for our community? Because I know that there's like 10 families over here that are not going to have Christmas. Can we do something for them? And I know they don't have themselves. So we go in the community and ask for Target gift cards or any kind of gifts to help. So we could do Christmas. This will be our 4th year, I believe, doing that. And actually one of the teens, Julian, who's now our staff, is one of the teens that mentioned to me 4 years ago and said, Miss Susan, can we go out and do something for our community at Christmas? Because I know there's a handful of families that aren't going to have anything. And that's where it started. So again, it's just, I think, based on what we do as adults, they see all that and they get it. And then they're like, well, what are we going to do?
Right.
Can we go feed the homeless? Can we make hats for the homeless this winter because they're cold? So we do all of that all the time. And it's
so they're modeling what they're seeing from you.
I think so.
Yeah. So tell us what a typical day is like at Boys and Girls Club. What time do the kids start coming? What do you have them do on a typical day? What time do they go home? Are they getting to eat while they're there?
So our kids get in here, school gets out at different times with all the different schools we serve, because we do serve elementary, middle school, and high school. So they usually start rolling in here about 2:45, and we'll get the bulk of them by 3:15, but they start out their day here with a nutritious snack. So one of our staff person prepares snack for them. Sometimes it's food from the Tower Gardens or the garden. Sometimes it's food that we are given by the food bank. And so our goal, though, is to always make sure they have something nutritious, and if it can be a hot meal at times too, it is. Then they go into rotation, so everybody goes to where they belong, and they are all divided by age groups, of course, just like the schools are. But one common thing that happens across all Boys and Girls Club is a power hour, which is an hour dedicated to homework and to getting homework help. And a lot of kids here that come to our club come from homes where, English is not the first language for their families. And so it's important for them to be able to get that assistance here because they may not get it at home. Or maybe, mom or dad or just mom too tired to help at home by the time they all get back home. So they do focus on homework. Academics is a strong push here at our club. And then after that, there's the variety of programming that we go into. And so sometimes that looks like working with Miss Susan in the garden and harvesting and doing cooking projects. Sometimes it's lessons in decision making. It's called Smart Moves, and it's about healthy habits and making those positive choices for oneself. And sometimes it's playing outside in our triple play program where the kids are either learning a new game or a new sport, teamwork and everything that goes along with that. So they rotate into different programs throughout the day. And then they start heading home at 6 o'clock. Some of them picked up and some of them walk home, and then our next day starts like that again.
Yeah. Well, and Beth, what I do is I work closely with the staff. I will tell them, and based on a produce, it's like, kale is ready today, or, we've got this boatload of apples. Can we make applesauce? And so it's like I work closely with the staff, though. If they have things planned, I'll say, okay, then tomorrow, can we make applesauce or whatever, or however it works out. And so, and staff is amazing. They are always accommodating to me. I was like, we need to go out in the garden and tear it up today. We need to go out there and, dig up things and clean things up today. Is that okay? And 9 times out of 10, they'll say yes. Like I said, every now and then. And I respect them and what they need to do, and they respect me and what needs to be done out there. So, but there's always something. Every day there, I'm here every day, and there's always something that we can do. So, and again, I just slide in and out and work closely with staff. So, and I don't interfere with their programs, or mainly their homework time.
The power hour.
Yeah, power hour. Never interfere with power hour.
Yeah. Well, I have a follow-up question as far as how many kids are you serving at the Vacaville Boys and Girls Clubs?
So we have 4 sites here. They're all small sites, and they are inside of schools. They're in department development areas. And so collectively, we're serving about 110 kids spread out throughout these sites.
Mm-hmm.
Our overall membership is just over 300 kids.
Wow. And do you have statistics compiled as far as what kind of results you're getting school-wise, graduation rates?
Yeah, so we have been tracking our kids. Our focus has shifted a little bit towards the teen population and the middle school kids because those are who is having the hardest time transitioning. So we went ahead and popped up a club there at the middle school site. Last year, 75% of the kids were on honor roll at that middle school site.
Wow.
And so we're actually seeing successes a lot quicker than I had anticipated. And then to my knowledge, because I've actually only been with this organization for 4 years, but since my time, it's, to my knowledge, 100% of our kids have graduated high school. And
wow.
I don't know exactly where all of them have gone, but I do know that, I hear about them, and once in a while I get to see them. As they become seniors in high school, it is harder to capture them and keep them coming for a club with. They either have to get a job and work, or they have after school activities. So the older they get, there's, other priorities. So we don't always get to keep them until they're seniors, but the seniors that we do have graduated. So I'm proud to say that.
That's wonderful. Well, I would love if you would take us on a little field trip and show us the Tower Gardens if you have time to do that. Could we do that? Okay, hi, Sharon. We've got Sharon on with us. And we have someone on by phone. I think maybe did you call in first, Sharon, and then came in on the, I see. Okay, great.
I did.
See you.
And, I'm so used to go to meeting and all, and I've never been on Zoom.
Oh,
so
what do you think of Zoom? Isn't it fun?
Yeah, if I could figure out how to get off the phone and onto the web, but I'll figure that out next time.
Yes. And there's a way when you log into Zoom, it'll ask you, do you want audio on your computer or the phone? So it's wonderful to see you.
We've got a locked door here, so we're waiting for the key man.
All right.
I'm the key man.
The key man.
The key
It's
man.
good to have a key man in every organization.
See, we got a key man.
And Brian is the key master.
Okay, so here is, can you make it bigger?
Oh, wow.
I know the light is,
Look at that.
yeah, you were here when it was.
You had just put in seedlings. Oh my goodness.
It was little. Now it's just, yeah.
Massive.
Oh, yeah. And then we've got 3 up now. Yeah, I know. You saw them when they were babies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's pretty good. Yep. And then we got a lot of peppers growing right here. And then we just,
Here's where you snipped.
I snipped back, and this is how it grows. I don't know if you can see that.
Wow.
Can you see where I snipped it?
Yes,
And then
yes.
the kids harvested on this one, and it just all grows back. So we're ready to sell this kale. We're ready to get that again and use it.
Fantastic.
So, and then we've got a tower. We've got a tower over at Vacaville that we set up, and then we're going to actually bring that other one in here. We have grow lights for the 2 towers, and we're going to bring that one inside this winter. And the one at Vacaville, so I go over there as well. And work with those guys. And we planted over there 2 weeks ago, and we set up the tower with the grow lights. And so the kids are all excited. What's cool about that tower over there too is that is used for school during the day. Mm-hmm. So there's a whole different level of kids that are watching that tower during the day. Mm-hmm. And then after school and maintain it and work it. So, and it's cool because the lights just go on at night, and they're on a timer. Mm-hmm. But they hear the water come on during the day because you can hear the water running in the tower.
Right, it's very nice.
Yeah. So it's really, really cool. So not only are we introducing our kids to towers and healthy eating, but other kids are experiencing it as well.
That's right. So share, if you will, what happened when Juice Plus learned that you were doing this? Because this was something you initiated, I think, and then these are Juice Plus products. Juice Plus
yes, they are.
Tower Garden. And I think the grant you came to request from the BNI Foundation was the first one of its kind for a Juice Plus tower at a facility like this.
Yes.
So tell us what happened.
Well, because we documented the whole process, so we went in, and as soon as we got the towers, we unboxed it. I had kids helping me. We unboxed them, put them together, but I documented the whole thing. So we have a 10-minute video that we've shared with Juice Plus. And through everything that the Boys and Girls Clubs have done with the towers is that Juice Plus has decided to donate a tower to every Boys and Girls Club across America.
Wow.
I know, it's amazing. So we have two of them that have been donated to us, plus what you guys have helped us with. But Juice Plus has just given us 2 towers with grow lights, and you're showing them right here on the screen. Those grow lights that are on the side, they're amazing. And so that gives us access to bringing the towers in to places that don't really have an outdoor place for them. But so we applied for 2, and you have to be able to have someone willing to take care of it. So they do ask you a lot of questions on the application, which is fine. You don't want to make sure that they really want them, and they want to start with a healthy program for their kids. And we've proven that we will do that. So like I said, they've given us 2 fully loaded towers with everything that we need to start them at our different sites.
So almost in a way, that whole initiative could be part of the BNI collaboration with the Boys and Girls Club right there in Vacaville.
Yeah, I agree.
Those are good roots to have, I think.
Yeah.
And I know Sharon has a particular interest in space and kids in space. This is a really neat thing, isn't it, when you're thinking about hydroponic growing for an application in space, don't you think, Sharon?
Absolutely. I was fascinated with this presentation, and we're involved with Boys and Girls Club in Orlando, Florida. So I wanted to get some ideas of what everybody else is doing. So this is very exciting. Thank you.
Cool.
Really neat thing. In the Boys and Girls Clubs, we toured Brea and Yorba Linda in California with a couple of BNI chapters, and members came with me, and we had the Get Acquainted breakfast, and then we toured the facility. And just from the tour, this was in the very early days of Business Voices, and we didn't really know even how to connect members with projects like this and whether they would get excited about it or not. But just the tour we took, the members were saying, oh, there's a piano there. No one here to teach piano lessons. I think that my wife might enjoy coming over one day a week and teaching mini lessons to kids. And then there was an art studio. They actually had a small room in the Boys and Girls Club, a beautiful facility that had been donated to them by the city. And there was a room down in the basement area that was an art studio. And one of the other BNI members got very excited about things they noticed that were missing that could really enhance the art studio. I noticed that the couch over against the wall was very tattered looking. And I thought, well, a kid's environment is important to them. And if that's what they see all the time around them, that's what they're going to feel like is normal, natural, that they deserve. And I think they should feel more deserving of something a little bit of a nicer touch. So we went to work and did some cause networking to try to find someone who would sponsor the reupholstery of the couches. I'm not sure where that ended up, but we set the ball in motion for that. And just by literally being on the site, we repeated this again in Austin, and we went, Ivan and I, and toured with about 15 BNI members. And just being on the site and seeing the kids and hearing from the staff gave the members all kinds of ideas of ways they could help with homework tutoring, with the music program, with refurbishing computers, and also donating iPads. The kids did have game time, and they had a time where they could sit in a certain area and use the iPad to play games. And so people came up with all kinds of ideas, ways to get involved. That's all it took, was going and putting the we're talking about this conduit, but you've got to get business and the kids organizations together. So then when they pull separate, they know what that conduit needs to be and what it needs to look like and what kind of resources are needed to flow through. What are your thoughts, Brian? You were there with me. We toured. It was amazing, wasn't it?
It was an amazing tour. It was very inspiring to meet these kids and see their smiles and helping with all this. It was also I would say disheartening sometimes to see the needs of that community, because like they need a shed.
A garden shed. Yeah. How easy is that for us to help them with?
And there's not a gardening shed that is available. What they have is broken and needs repair. So they were looking for volunteers for funding and to just buy supplies for the shed and to help with the gardening. And also, I noticed was a pool table that needed refinishing. So my pledge is out there. I'm trying to find someone to adopt a pool table. Get it new felted, get revarnished, get new balls, get new cues. I think you're just having that little step of a chapter to come in and adopt a pool table can truly bring new life to the kids there. So it is something that I really enjoyed that tour. It was a great day going down there. It was 104 degrees when we were down there.
It was hot. It was hot.
But the gardens kept it cool.
Yeah. And the kid with the hair, wow, that was something else.
Sergio.
Let me find the kid with the hair.
He's famous now, world famous. You have to tell Sergio. Oh, and speaking of, let's see Sergio's picture.
Yeah. And our kitchen too. We have such needs in the kitchen. And that's, we, again, like Anna was saying, we just try hard to, spend our money wisely, and we're very careful with how we use our funds. So we really, really count on the community to support us in any way they can so that we have the funds available.
Right.
Brian, thank you for recognizing the pool table, because it really is used every day. You can tell from the wear of it, every Boys and Girls Club has a pool table, so that is a great challenge, actually.
Yeah.
Adopt a pool table too. If you want to do something small, adopt the pool table.
Yeah. So I was also going to follow up by asking Erica. I know, Erica, you're on the call. You're a BNI. Are you a BNI director or member, Erica? I know you're in BNI. What is your role?
Okay, just unmuted myself.
You did.
I'm a director consultant in BNI, I think for 2 years or so, 3 years maybe. And then I've been in BNI for 6 years in New York and in Oakland, Berkeley area.
And how are you involved with the Boys and Girls Clubs in Vacaville?
Well, I connected with Susan because of Don Lyons and Corey Knott sharing the gardening program. And so we just helped get them growing. And that's the name of my thing, Get Kids Growing. And so after going to the Vacaville Club, we also have towers in El Sobrante Boys and Girls Club and now the Oakland Boys and Girls Club. And I can really see how the support of Susan, the volunteer goddess, going daily ensures the success of the towers and the whole project. So, I mean, they're abundant. So I'm learning by example from what Susan and Anna are doing. And now what you guys are talking about today, I'm really excited for other schools and Boys and Girls Clubs to catch the fire and other kids organizations, because some of them have been saying, oh, how do we do the fundraising for this? Or how do we do, so for the Boys and Girls Club in Oakland, I fundraised from 2 BNI chapters to raise the funds for their tower. Mm-hmm. But when that is more successful, they can be given a free tower from the Juice Plus company. Just have to apply and ensure they have at least one person who will be the point person and have it be successful. That's like the most important thing, is like a point person to be there checking on things and teaching. And that's really what I've been doing. And now I'm collecting schools and other clubs that want to do the same.
Marvelous.
Can you share the educational component of this? It's not just growing food, it's education. So
right. Go ahead.
I'll put that back up.
Well, I mean, kind of like what Susan said before, there's math, there's science with the pH balancing and the nutrients that you're putting into the tower. You measure everything. There's an equal amount of tonic A and tonic B that's put into the tower. And then each ecosystem, Vacaville is hot. So, there's a rule of alternating water with nutrients. Getting it just right is specific to each area around here. And all across the country, people are growing, and in Canada too. So every area has its own ecosystem, whether the tower can be outdoors all year round, which is mostly for us in California, to towers needing to come inside for more of the winter months. That's a whole planning strategy and, delegating who's going to check the pH, who's going to harvest the food, how are we going to eat this food, So I could go on and on.
That's
Was there anything I missed, Susan, that's also educational about it?
Well, again, it's taking the products home and teaching the community as well. It's not just about the kids. When we get to their homes, that's the beauty of it. I had a mother because I document everything. I put everything on Facebook, and I had a mother on Facebook said, "You are my hero for getting the kids to love kale." And that was like the best thing I could hear. It's like, oh my God, she said I'm her hero. And so so sweet. But again, it's getting the families involved as well. It's not just, we could do everything we want here with the kids, but if they go home and they're still eating the junk, it's like, oh no, I want kale. Mommy, go buy me some kale, please. Or if I can send enough kale home, I will do that, because they want to eat it. So it's all that as well. There's a lot of.
Can I add something? That there's this teacher in the South Bronx of New York, obviously, and he is on fire with getting kids growing there. And then his phrase that is so fun to hear is, we're changing destinies and outcomes by getting the kids involved. And those kids are wanting to come to school.
Yes.
He's
Yes.
He's improving it's going from I forget the statistic, like 43% going to school to 93% with bringing all the produce home. He's getting these kids jobs. He's getting them growing not just in New York, but everywhere. These kids went to the White House to cook with the chef there. The chef came to their school. So it's really exciting. I feel like Susan's been the Steve Ritz of the West Coast. So
we have invited Michelle Obama. She just hasn't come yet. We did send her an email, and I'm not kidding. And Oprah. So we're reaching out to Michelle Obama and Oprah. They just haven't responded yet.
Well, now here's something to drop into our network, because we can help you with those invitations. I'm sure we have people who could help you.
There you go.
Warm that referral up just a little bit. Right? Visibility.
Also,
yeah, it would be.
Really,
I am so excited that you guys are working in STEAM education as well, because I think it's very important for children.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It very much is. Very, very much is.
And I do have to say that I have to, when I come through the doors here every day, the kids just bombard me with, can I help you? What are we going to do today? And I have to tell those kids every day, you need to check into your program first, and then you can with me, or we can figure this out. Because they're like, no, I just want to work in the garden. I just want to, plant. I just want to do things with you. And so that's really cool in itself. It's that, they do get excited about it. It's not me, putting anything on them. They just love doing it. And that's the beauty of the program as well. So.
Excellent. Wow, what a great spotlight webinar this has been. And I'm very hopeful that people watching it back later will investigate the opportunities to pour into children and education through Boys and Girls Clubs and find out if they're doing Tower Gardens. I know in Austin we have a BNI member, Deke Foxhoven, who's very much into gardening, organic gardening. He's part of a program at the Austin Discovery School, which is a greenhouse and teaching children about organic gardening and using the sciences and biology as part of the education track there. And I think this is right up Deke Foxhoven's alley as far as getting a Tower Garden program set up at Boys and Girls Clubs in Austin. So we're going to investigate that angle. And that's what cause networking is all about. We hear about something that's investing in kids, and we might know someone who could connect with that and further that effort. Do you have any closing remarks, my co-host, Brian?
Well, just
thank you for running this.
The power behind this, Juice Plus decided to donate to Boys and Girls Clubs around the nation. Mm-hmm. So if you know a Boys and Girls Club, they may not be aware that this opportunity is there. And so what I'll be posting on these sites is the links to Susan's page. I'll post the link to Anna and the Vacaville Boys Girls Club, so you can share their stories. We'll have the videos up again. I'll repost those. And so, you can share these with those opportunities, because imagine a science teacher trying to teach ecology, and especially in California, we're dealing with droughts a lot. Here's a system that uses, 1/3 less water and grows times faster.
Yeah, it's
this is like, this is science fiction growing. You remember watching old episodes of Star Trek, and they had to grow their own food, or Mission to Mars, and how they're going to grow their own food. This is the future of gardening. Here in the I can't say the Garden State, we're not New Jersey, but in the big garden of California.
Garden Belt. Mm-hmm.
So this is an amazing opportunity that you can bring into Boys and Girls Clubs. You can bring into any teacher who's teaching ecology, because a lot of times their problem is when they started gardening in the spring, school's out in the summer, and the kids don't see the results. This is something that has a fast turnaround that allows them to see the results, and especially that they're taking these vegetables, creating it into snacks the kids can enjoy. So now you have after-school nutrition being taught, and the whole concept of starting a business. These kids are drying the salsa, going to farmers markets, telling them, learning about marketing, learning about sales at a great early age, learning about donations. They're donating the extra fruit and vegetables. They're not being thrown into a garbage can. They're being donated to food shelters. Mm-hmm. They're truly seeing giving back to the community, which is many times, recipients of a nonprofit don't see the giving back. They just see the receiving. This is a full cycle, givers gain, noble networking. So I applaud Susan and Anna and the work that they've done, because it was because of this that we took this as an example of what Business Voices can be nationwide.
Fantastic. Well, this brings us to the close of our webinar. And Brian, when are we doing another webinar, and what will our subject be?
Okay, we will be back on October 26th during Halloween week, but don't be too scared, because we're going to talk to you guys about the power of doing a career fair. What can happen when you go into a school with a group of business professionals and say, what does the school need, and how can we help teach the kids about their future? We're not there to sell businesses. We're there to show, educate, answer questions. Everything from the high school kids trying to decide their future, junior high kids planting that seed. We're still planting. And elementary schools that love to write stories, what they want to do when they grow up. Yeah. Imagine the power of bringing a chapter of 20 to 40 business professionals into a school, sharing that opportunity, because schools love career fairs, but they hate trying to arrange who they're going to get to show up. Yep. We have a pre-planned program that is replicable, that has great results, and we'll share those stories on October 26th, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, noon Central in Texas. That's noon in Texas, Beth, and 10 a.m. here in California.
And we have guests. Our guests are going to be B&I directors and the principals to which schools they've gone to do the career fair. So we have two pairs of each, a director and a principal from the North Carolina area, and a director and a principal from southeastern Texas. So we'll hear real world stories about how it worked out, what the kids thought. I hope that we can get Mike Macedonio to come on as well, because he had a great experience at a career fair, and kids that were surprised to learn a little bit more about being a business owner and an entrepreneur. So that's going to be a really great webinar, and we'll give other ideas on how to do Business Voices projects in your own communities. So with that,
outside of B&I chapters, invite teachers, invite principals to come to that call too. We're not just here to educate B&I people. We're here to educate the community.
Right. That's right. All right. With that, we're going to end the recording. And thanks to those who came on the call, and thanks to everyone watching back. Help us promote this. Follow us at the B&I Foundation Facebook page. We also live tweet on Twitter. It is BNI_Foundation. And we're on Google Plus and Pinterest and everywhere else that you could imagine us to be. We're there. Instagram, BNI Foundation. Thanks to my good friend and co-host Brian Bentzen, who's handling all the social media for us. Thank you guys for coming, and ladies, thank you for coming. And I'm going to end our recording now with a great webinar under our belt. Thank you so much.